Hi there, mamas. Welcome to the Intuitive Divorce Podcast. I'm Kristen Noel, certified divorce coach and creator of the Best Self Intuitive Divorce, a game-changing program that transforms the experience and outcomes of divorce, one mother at a time. I call it Divorcing Differently. I'm here each week bringing you a quick message to support, inspire, and empower you to achieve the outcomes you want for yourself and your kids. You know why? Because divorce is hard, it's messy, and can be terrifying and completely overwhelming. There's a lot to navigate. I know because I walked in your shoes, and I want to help you avoid the missteps. So let's dive into today's episode. Hey mamas, sometimes the best medicine is not rushing to fix everything, and instead allowing yourself to feel what you're feeling. In fact, that's what I want to talk to you about today. I'm calling this conversation, Letting It Rip. What if I told you that it's okay to not be okay? We've all heard this phrase before, right? That doesn't mean we've actually put it in motion or even know how to do that. I was reminded of this lesson this past week. And while I'm not currently going through divorce, been there, done that, life's ups and downs come in many flavors and can trigger the same wounds. What does allowing oneself to not be okay look like? Well, it's about giving yourself permission to sit in the messy, vulnerable, ugly cry face emotions. It's about not jumping to slap a Band-Aid on every wound that ails you. It's about not hiding, pretending, or shaming yourself. It's also temporary, someplace to visit, not take up permanent residency. Hey, I gave God and my guardian angels an earful this past week in the car. Yep. I was that crazy lady talking to herself as I drove, just letting it rip. And beneath that built-up anger was pain and sadness that needed to emerge, my own volcanic eruption that could no longer be contained. I had held it in for too long, kept putting on that happy face and being the cheerleader for others. But even cheerleaders need cheering. I know it makes sense, but we rarely give ourselves the opportunity to do this. In fact, when was the last time you just cried, screamed, pounded your fists into the sofa cushions? And yes, I know you're likely worthy of an Academy Award, having kept it all together for everyone else for so long. Your kids, your family, your work, and now your divorce. And I know that you don't want to do this in front of those people, but mark my words, the longer you hold it in, the more you risk it coming out when you least expect it, and not in a way that you're going to feel good about. It may even manifest physically. Nothing is random. When I was in the height of my own divorce, with few outlets for all that I was dealing with emotionally, my back gave out. Not in a small way where it hurt to move, but rather in a way that left me immobile on the kitchen floor with a small child sleeping down the hallway. I seriously didn't know how I was going to get up. I remember lying there on the floor in the darkness, terrorized by it all, feeling alone, vulnerable, and hopeless. But it really was the beginning of my connecting the dots of my mind, body, and spirit, and realizing that nothing was random. Recently, a mama texted me that she had bronchitis. Oh, how the mama bear in me wanted to scoop her up, tuck her into bed, and make her a big pot of chicken soup. You know, the lungs hold your grief, right? I texted her. No, I didn't, she responded. Well, without psychoanalyzing anyone, I shared with her what I knew from the teachings of Louise Hay and others. The body keeps the score. This mama was in the middle of an abrupt move. That's enough to send anyone over the edge. Juggling a small child, a complicated ex, the unsolicited and unsupportive comments from her family, her job, and showing up for herself during this divorce. Something had to give eventually. When your body caves, nurture it. Best yet, ask it what it needs before it has to scream out to you, because it will, and the timing will never be convenient. Pay attention to your body. It's your foundation. Give it what it needs to hold you all together. Interrupt the unraveling. Find a way to pull yourself out of the situation and just feel. So, perhaps it's time to make a plan for yourself. When the triggers trigger, how could you sit with them? How could you feel what needs to be felt so that you can get beneath them once and for all? How could you refrain from trying to hide them? A good cry in the shower? Yelling through clenched teeth in the car? Pounding your fists into the sofa cushions? Getting back into bed to hide beneath the covers? I was relieved when the mama I texted said that she had called a friend for help. Yes, let yourself off the hook, mama. Maybe, just maybe, despite having been able to do it all before, you need a break. You can't do it alone. And maybe that's okay. Maybe the house won't be perfectly cleaned, the meals perfectly planned out, and every task checked off your to-do list. So be it. The holidays are just around the corner, as if you needed anything else added to your already full plate. Could you give yourself some compassionate grace and recognize that they may not look like they have in the past? You may not be living in a scene from a Hallmark holiday movie, and that's okay. You don't need any more pressure than you are already under, mama. The greatest gift you can give yourself in a moment of great upset and upheaval is permission to not be okay. Exhale. Don't rush to fix anything. Instead, ask it where it wants to guide you. This may all be new territory for you, but allow yourself to view life through a new lens. It is possible to see things differently, and it starts with admitting that you are not okay, and that's okay. Deep breath. Resist the urge to fix, change, polish, clean up, or represent anything. Just sit in the stillness, and yes, in the pain. This is where your answers will tiptoe forward and present themselves. And sometimes not overindulging the emotion is what you need in that moment. What do I mean by that? Well, just accept that you feel like shit right now, and you likely aren't in the right frame of mind to come up with the solutions in this state. So, do something instead that nurtures you. This is very different from bypassing or denial. It's actually conscious self-awareness. Ask yourself, what do I need in this moment? I gave myself some space for a few days. I didn't force anything. My entire nervous system relaxed. I knew my problem would still be there waiting for me, but I greeted it from a much more solid place. That's self-care, and this is a great strategy for all the big decisions you need to make during your divorce for you and your kids and your future ahead. Sometimes the best strategy is just calling it like it is and figuring out how best to support yourself, and then reminding yourself that you are okay, even when you're not feeling okay. Thanks for listening to today's episode, but more importantly, for making this time for yourself. If you're a professional, independent mother facing off with divorce, struggling with your emotions, worried about your kids and your future, and want a better way to navigate it all, I've got 2 ways to completely change the trajectory of your divorce and your life starting today. The first is our free divorce workshop. In this training, you'll learn the 3 steps to get off the emotional roller coaster and take control of your divorce so you can save time, money, and heartache for you and your family. Simply go to intuitivedivorce.com/workshop. And the second way is to book a free strategy call with our team, where we'll dive into your situation, your struggles, what you really want, and outline a path to get you there. For a short video and the booking link, go to intuitivedivorce.com/call. Check it out, and I'll see you inside.